Hello everyone, Rissy Toothpick here, back again with some more Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, the first cases, and last time we learned about a little altercation that went down between the room and the major. We don't really know what's going on, but we know the major does not like what's her name? What's the daughter's name? Who Angeline's gonna marry. And let's pick up this pamphlet and see what's going on. Some information regarding a shelter for women coming from troubled homes and backgrounds. Okay, that's weird. Looks like we might be able to talk to Sterling.
Monsieur Sterling, I trust the preparations are progressing since our last meeting.
Please, Detective. Archibald is fine. Everything is in order now. Are you ready to join the party?
You are head butler of this house. It is a position that warrants respect, and I shall continue to give it, Monsieur Sterling. And I must admit, it is the smell from the kitchen that has my attention more than the party itself.
Rehanna is quite the cook, but it will still be some time. Maybe you'd like to enjoy a drink while you wait. Some of the guests are already in the salon to your left.
It is weird that Rihanna wasn't in there, but Elizabeth.
And the remaining guests are in the library on the first floor.
I will be sure to explore both. Merci.
Okay, you did not want to interject in the altercation between Monsieur Demire and Major, or do this evening's plans fall under any sort of schedule? Let's start with the altercation.
It is my responsibility to look after the house and staff, not to resolve petty disputes.
Yeah, you don't want to be the enemy of either one of them, because then you lose your job.
I cannot imagine he will be in any mood to attend the party.
He often has a cigar to calm down, and if that doesn't relax him, that temperature outside surely will.
Do this evening's plans fall under any sort of schedule?
Dinner will be served in the dining room, but the rest of the evening is yours to enjoy.
You have all certainly been working hard, it seems.
Very hard. The lady of the house wanted everything a certain way, and that's how it was to be done.
Merci. You have been most helpful.
Alrighty, so we have a new mind map. It is time I met my fellow guests of the party. They all have a connection to the family in some respect, and although they are here to join in the celebrations, perhaps one of them has a more sinister motive. Okay, let me clear all these out so when we have something, a link, we know it's not one of these. I think that pamphlet might have some connections later on. Okay, first things first, let's see if there's anybody chilling down here. It does not look to be so. There's still a check mark over here, apparently. Major wanted to calm down. Okay, so I don't think there's anybody in here. Did I look at that? The staff rota for this evening. 4 people are assigned. Is this enough staff to proceed with tonight's events? I don't think we saw this, actually. Sterling, Elizabeth, Inga, Rihanna, and then the kitchen, service. Find out how staff members may be linked into recent events. The staff live and work in the house with the Van den Bosch family. It would not be surprising for them to know more than the family would expect or want. Inspect the butler's pantry again, I suppose. I guess the cook might be in there now. Locked. I would have thought with such a tight schedule I'd find at least one staff member here. Okay. Still don't have a link though. Talk to Cassandra though. I don't know how that being locked led to that. Alright, but I think we're good with this bottom floor. Let me go upstairs real quick just to make sure that's not what he meant by, everyone being upstairs or whatever. But nah, I don't see anybody. Let's go to the little like party room and see what's going on. Okay. We have the drunk. Oh, there's a bottle. Let me check it out first. Quite a substantial sized bottle of alcohol, already half drunk. Why is a half empty bottle sitting on the bar with no glasses beside it? Okay, can we actually get back here? We can. There's nothing else of value. Still no links, but we finally opened up the saloon.
Monsieur Demir, we meet again.
What did I tell you? Call me Zach. You found your room all right then?
I did, and a charming room it is.
I don't know if I would call mine charming, but if I drink enough, it won't matter.
I must apologize for my rudeness before. I did not ask how you know the family. Yeah, let's figure out what he knows.
That's okay. At least you actually care. Not like most of the others here. I'm the groom-to-be's older, more handsome brother.
Oh, that's strange. That's weird a little bit. He's like, so far, we've only met so few, and he seems to be like a drunk, has issues, so to be the groom's brother, maybe there's more to what the major was talking about.
Ah, oui. I see the resemblance now. How wonderful that you can celebrate this occasion together.
I'll stop you there. The only wonderful thing about this celebration is the free food and drink.
You are not pleased for your brother.
Angeline seems nice enough, but marriage is not for me. What is there to gain from tying yourself to someone for the rest of your life? Besides the money.
What is it you do for work? It seems everyone here is of some great financial standing.
Recently, not a great deal. Well, except for enjoying myself. I was once a field medic in the military. But those days are over.
A noble occupation. Did you not want to make it your career?
It wasn't my decision to make. I certainly don't miss the battlefield, that's for sure.
I'm hesitant to ask, but how is your brother after the altercation with the major?
I'm sure he's fine. You don't need to worry about him. Always the knight in shining armor, riding in to save the day.
Saving the day from who, exactly?
Well, if Gedeon is the knight in the fairy tale, Felix is the dragon. Felix the Major. Ha! Always there, thinking he is better. Just because he was a major. We all know how he got there. In his mind, that puts him at the top of the chain.
It seems there is some hostility between Monsieur Demir and the major, an animosity that does not come from one evening at a party. Yeah, they know each other.
Perhaps it is best I take my leave.
Or they know each other a lot more than what they're letting on. Differing status, Gideon looking forward to family fortune. Oh, we actually do have a connection here. Okay, so let me, first off, Zachary is intoxicated. Let's see if that bottle of alcohol will connect.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
I could not even fathom drinking that much alcohol, especially in one evening. And now we can talk to him again, so we will do that. I mean, we are like right in front of him.
Fire away, detective.
I don't mean to dampen the celebration, but would you like me to fetch you a glass of water?
I have a drink, but thanks anyway.
I just would not like to see things get out of hand.
Don't you worry about me. I've got it covered.
Something tells me his excessive drinking is not in celebration of this fier's engagement. His recollection of war makes me think it may be something more serious.
Perhaps it is best I take my leave.
Alright. Luckily we don't have no more connections, but is repressing something. Yeah, everyone's got something to hide here. Alright, let's go this way. The chance to play is very tempting, but I shall save myself the embarrassment. The dining room there that we can't get to.
Oh.
News of the continued factory strikes. Workers demanding a fair treatment by Jacqueline Conrad. And who is this? Like Margot Gux? Or she'll let us know how to say her name. She'll introduce herself.
Allow me to introduce myself. Hercule Poirot.
Detective Hercule Poirot? I heard we were being joined by one of the king's finest officers.
Oui, madame. I see my name precedes me.
Comtesse Margot de Vos.
Margot.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Something like that. So I'm just going to call her Margot. I should just call her Marge. Make it easy on myself, but Margot.
It is I who is charmed.
Handsome, well-mannered, and a man of the law. I did not expect such a fine caliber of gentleman at this party.
Comtesse, your compliments are enough to make a young detective blush.
Man, I'm like looking at them and I'm noticing the snow out of the windows. Look how violent it is out there. Alright, but let's see. Besides flattery, what is it you do?
I fill my time mostly with charity work. The number of those less fortunate only continues to grow.
How very admirable.
One must remain humble.
And which side of the engagement brings you here?
I have been a close friend to the Van den Bosch family for, well, heaven knows how long.
You must have known the late Viscount then.
Indeed, we had been friends since our school days. His passing was very hard on both Cassandra and young Angeline. I became a sort of protector of them both after his death. A guardian angel, if you will.
Interesting. I have learnt that friendship in these higher social circles can be nothing more than a facade to remain in that position. Perhaps the Comtesse is vying for Madame Van den Bosch's position. It was quite a shock to see the major lying in the hall like that.
You will find Felix at the center of any trouble, especially when it concerns the ladies of the house.
I understand he has made himself quite at home here.
What an understatement. He thinks his friendship with Cassandra entitles him to anything and everything in the house, including certain opinions of how young Angeline lives her life.
What if in a weird situation, the major is actually Angelina's father? You know, like him and Cassandra, cheated and stuff.
He does not approve of Monsieur Demire?
You'd have to ask him. Or rather, speak with Gideon's brother. He will have something to say about Felix, I am sure.
The Comtesse is well versed in drawing one in with delicious bait and then leaving them biting on the line. Another conversation with Zach is in order. What are your thoughts on Monsieur Demire?
A strapping young man. Angeline has found herself a good one. They certainly make a handsome couple.
Speaking with them both, it is plain to see, even to one that is unexperienced in such emotions, that there is a great deal of love between them.
When they are together, it is obvious for all to see, even at such a young age. But who are we to judge what the heart wants?
It's weird. Is the woman shelters you work with?
Work with? I built it from the ground up, detective.
My admiration continues to grow.
While my husband, the Honorable Count de Vos, is always busy with his duties, I found myself at rather a loose end. I could not bear wasting my days with no purpose. And one day, while shopping in the city, I noticed the abundance of young women living and begging on the streets. Dirty and hungry, without a franc to their name.
It's franc. So that's the money, franc.
It is horrifying to think of how so many must live their lives while others live a life of such selfish opulence.
I hope that was not a backhanded comment on the life I live, detective.
Far from it, Countess. You are using your wealth to better the lives of the less fortunate. It is commendable work you do.
It is, isn't it?
The work of the Comtesse is doing will go a long way to improve the lives of those who need it so badly. I only wish there were more in positions such as hers who could see the divide in our society and use their wealth to bring the plight to an end.
It has been a pleasure conversing. I look forward to our next tete-a-tete.
Something to note, especially back in the day, you'd have a lot of like wealthy individuals like this girl here who would help the less unfortunate. It was kind of like a facade. They, still look down upon these people. And most of the times they did not give them enough help. A roaring fire, I could stand and gaze into the flames for hours. Or people who actually needed help didn't get the help, and so on and so forth. The fallen snow has laid a beautiful white blanket over the countryside. I don't know, that snow is dangerous out there. Let's see here. But we still don't have no links here, which is good, because there's a long conversation with that lady. We just need to inspect the library a little bit more. Alrighty, let's talk to Cassandra.
Madame van den Bosch, congratulations are in order on your daughter's engagement.
You still looks mean though.
Thank you. And you are?
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's still very mean. She's probably very petty too.
Detective Poirot.
I'm sorry, the name eludes me.
That day at the Van den Bosch house has stayed with me. It opened my eyes to the unjust treatment of the working class and has been a driving force in becoming the detective I am today. And yet I have barely been a second thought to her.
Once, Officer Poirot, I investigated your daughter's missing bracelet.
Oh, it's you. There is no missing jewelry here today, so we are really not in need of your services.
I am here on a rather more pressing...
I know why you are here, officer. Detective, whatever you are now. Please, just get on with it.
Detective, and I promise not to keep you too long.
I understand the altercation earlier began with an argument between the Major and Mademoiselle Angeline.
Angeline is her own woman now. She can fight her own battles. She does not need her husband to be stepping in.
It looks like Cassandra's actually was okay with the Major getting involved there.
And what battles would they be?
Nothing that concerns you, detective.
I'm not sure what I expected asking Madame Van den Bosch about private matters. Your daughter invited me here to find the blackmailer?
Keep your volume down. She had no right to do such a thing. As soon as the other ladies get wind that there was a police officer in-house, the whole town will know.
The whole town, I think, already knows.
Perhaps you should be more focused on catching the blackmailer that is holding your family's name to ransom than what the chattering women of the town will say.
I care more about what those chattering women, as you so rudely describe them, have to say than the empty threat of an anonymous letter.
Your daughter does not agree. In fact, it has been suggested that one of tonight's guests may know more than they are willing to show.
The guests? You mean our friends? You can't honestly believe one of them would be so petty to send a letter like that. Oh, officer, you have not changed.
That means she does remember us. I must thank you for your hospitality tonight.
I suppose it is only polite to say you're welcome.
Madame is as quick-witted as I remember.
What a shame there is nothing as memorable about you but your lack of respect.
I should have known getting into a verbal battle with Madame would not be easily won. I understand that the Major is not fond of Angeline's husband-to-be.
You can make whatever assumptions you wish.
Based on several accounts, it seems as though the Major has a certain level of disdain for him and his brother.
Felix is merely protecting both my daughter and the Van den Bosch name.
Protecting them from what exactly?
That is a question best asked to them.
You must be elated at the news of Mademoiselle Angeline's engagement.
Gideon is a fine, educated young man from a well-respected family.
All important when considering a new son-in-law.
A good home and education speaks volumes about a man. Even in the short time they have been engaged, his noble character is obvious. If you were an educated man, you would know that.
I can assure you, madame, my education is not one to be sneered at.
And yet you remain a mere detective. Perhaps it is your choices, then, that are to be questioned.
I was passing and I noticed the butler's pantry was locked.
Locked? That is absurd. They should be constantly coming back and forth from there if they are hiding from their work again. What is it you want in my staff area, anyway?
I only mention it as I was hoping to speak to some staff members. But if they are busy...
Be a good fellow and make sure they aren't slacking off in there. It shan't take you long.
Yeah, so she wanted us to go beat up her staff to get to work. It may not have been the permission I was expecting, but I shall take it nonetheless. I shall try the pantry again. Perhaps you should tell me about the family secret, the one your daughter's protecting. She's not going to say anything, but sure.
What do you mean, protecting? She hasn't gone and paid that silly ransom, has she?
It was Monsieur Demire that accepted the cost. He paid it because your daughter believes there may be something to hide.
For heaven's sake! Why do you think it was addressed to her and not I in the first place? Because they knew I would throw it in the rubbish where it belongs.
Madame, if there is something you are keeping, it would be wise to tell me now. It may help in identifying the culprit.
And it would be wise for you to stay out of my family's business. If I require your help, I shall ask for it. But don't hold your breath.
Merci. An enchanting conversation, as always.
Alright, so we're done with Cassandra. Is there anything over here of importance? Nope, we need to talk to Zach again. So let me go into our mind here. We do have a link. Something between Cassandra. Maybe Gideon looking forward to family fortune, hastily arranged marriage.
What a revelation.
Monsieur Gideon could be marrying into the family purely for financial gain. Yep, so maybe it's Gideon that has issues. Okay, everything else seems to be okay here. Let us talk to Zach.
Fire away, detective.
I get the feeling you do not have much fondness of the Major.
The major pain in the ass. Why should I? It doesn't take a detective to work out the sort of man he really is. You must have seen it, right?
I have my own history with the Major, but that is a story best not told.
I think it's a story best told now. It can't be any worse than what he did to us during the war.
You fought together in the war?
We were on opposing sides.
I have stumbled upon a delicate subject. It may be best to avoid it altogether.
The subject of war is a difficult topic for everyone. Perhaps it is best to discuss something else.
If you had seen what I have, what he has done, you wouldn't side with him.
I am taking no sides, monsieur. It is just not conversation fit for a party.
Interesting.
Perhaps it is best I take my leave.
Alright, so we have another link here between... I'm assuming it's the brothers have a history with the major.
Magnifique.
I wouldn't say it is it to his face, but I don't think it's the major's place to cast judgment on Gideon. The major tended to warn Angeline. Interesting. Yeah, the major might know more about what's going on than anybody else in this area. Okay, so we've done all that. Real quickly, it's still telling us that we need to inspect this room. So let me make sure we haven't missed something. I don't think so. So let's go running to the pantry. Let's make sure there's like no one else out here. This time it's unlocked though. Unlocked. I must have caught a staff member at the right time. Who is this?
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Oh, monsieur, you startled me.
It was not my intention, mademoiselle. I was hoping to talk with a member of the staff.
You are the detective?
I am Detective Hercule Poirot. I only intend to take up a moment of your time.
Madame van der Bosch will be very hungry if she knows I'm standing talking.
Allow me to worry about madame.
Forgive me, I did not get your name. Yes, please. Tell me your name so I can try to pronounce it correctly.
Inga Frank, detective.
Inge. Okay, well, I'm going to butcher them, as you can hear, but we're going to try.
From the Norse god of peace and fertility. A most beautiful name.
Merci. It was my grand-mère.
You have all been working very hard this evening.
Oui, detective. Madame was very clear on what was to be prepared for today.
Well, everything looks exquisite. But if I may be blunt, would you not benefit from some more hands?
Monsieur Archie knows how busy we are, especially in the kitchen. I hate when I have to run service.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to your work.
Okay. No links, but we can clear them out. High tensions in the kitchen. Inspect the butler's pantry again. Let me see if there's something new here. The cook has obviously used them for quite some time, judging by their condition. We've been in the cupboard before, but we'll do it again. There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. Papers that order the dismissal of a staff member for accessing rooms without permission. Curious. Dear Miss Allard, your position as housemaid within the Van den Bosch residence is hereby officially terminated with immediate effect for the following reasons. Accessing forbidden areas of the house, refusal to make a sincere apology, emotional distress brought to the family. A reference shall be offered pending future employment. Sincerely, Madame Van den Bosch. Man, you do not want a reference from her. Before we go any further, make sure there's no connections. Forbidden area of the house, that might be where that one hidden room is. A photo showing 7 members of staff. The house would surely run like clockwork with so many. 3 men, 4 ladies. I think that is what we were supposed to find here. Okay, so we have a staff photo. Maybe with the staff, Rhoda?
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
It appears there are a number of staff missing based on the photo, and I'm just going to say the roll call. Why could this be? They're hiding. Insufficient staff. Maybe this one? Remaining staff overwhelmed?
Is there something I am not?
No. So if it's not that one, I think it might be high tension in kitchen.
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
Man, what could it be then? Forbidden areas of the house, insufficient staff, or staff termination?
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Well, at least I got it. It appears the missing staff were in fact relieved of their duties. Could there be another reason for letting them go? Oh. Okay, recent staff layoffs. Forbidden areas of the house.
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the evidence.
Okay, here, let me get rid of these. Looks like we can talk to multiple people. Trying to figure out what would be the connection between the two. High tensions in the kitchen. Could there be another reason for letting them go? Family taking care of money now?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
If the family are being more cautious with their money, maybe staff were let go for that reason. Layoffs relating to money issues, so maybe they're not okay when it comes to their funding.
Oui, détective. I am at your service.
Madam has recently fired some members of the staff, though.
That is not for me to talk about, detective. If Monsieur Archie found out I had said anything out of turn.
I am not asking you to betray your fellow staff or the family. What is said between us remains that way, mademoiselle.
It's only whispers, but the last servant was caught in areas of the house they shouldn't be. Apparently, they saw something they shouldn't have. Please, detective, if Monsieur Archibald found that I was talking like this with a guest...
My lips are sealed, mademoiselle. Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to your work.
I wonder what they found. Maybe what was found is what's being used in the blackmail. Staff know family is hiding something. Where would the new one be here? Suspects, okay. Yeah, it is kind of leaning towards the staff, but maybe one of the guests overheard one of the staff talking about it. And then they used that to their advantage. Alright, so we're probably going to stop here today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the links below. In the next one, we'll talk to the head butler Sterling here and get his intake on what's going on around the house.